Why did Tank Davis refuse a fight with Conor Benn? Let's talk about this briefly.
Push the weight and no flex. The livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon. Motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. Love that jazz music. It's actually my first time discussing this, but it's worth talking about. Why did Tank refuse the Conor Benn offer? The question is rhetorical because to me, it's obvious. This kid is equivalent to a child that you can't make happy at a particular point in the day. Let me explain. For those of you that had young children or have young children, young toddlers, middle of the day, it's like, what's wrong, little man? And he got his lip poked out, and it's like, yo, what's wrong? And nothing. His lip is poked out, and arms is folded. He's kicking stuff. You're like, yo, calm down, man. What's wrong with you? Yeah. You don't know what the problem is. He's fed. All the toys are out. Everything is at his disposal, but he just got an attitude. You're getting everything you want. What's your problem? You know what the problem is? He needs a nap. But he don't want a nap. Because kids, they feel if you put them down to sleep, they'll miss something. They'll miss something exciting. So he don't want a nap. So he chooses to stay awake and act out. But you know what happens? Eventually, that leads to discipline. And whatever your form of discipline is, if you're old school like myself, you know what that is. New school, is time out. You know what happens? After all forms of discipline, you generate compliance. You get that nap. Like, oh, that's why he was acting out. He was tired. I think Tank is tired. I think Tank needs to go on timeout. But if you're old school like me, Tank need those paws put on him. So why did he refuse the Conor Benn offer? Now, I'm not a numbers guy. There's places you can go for that. BFTB, Brother 78 likes to run down numbers sometimes. There's places you can go for that. I like to keep things simple here. From what I understand, he was paid $5 million up front versus Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia was paid 2.5 up front, and they both walked away with $30 million at the end of the day. I don't understand the math in that. According to my math, Tank should have walked away with a little more than Ryan, maybe 35 million, and Riri walked away with like maybe 29, 30. That was back end money. Makes me ask a question, where's the rest of the bread at? But whatever. I ain't gonna get too deep into that. But my point is, $5 million up front, right? $5 million up front. And $5 million up front. And then you made $30 million. So Eddie Hearn, at first, when he was dealing with, he was working with Devin, You remember he said, let's talk? And Tank said, no. Wow, no. It's messed up, man. You didn't even want to talk? You just said no? Dag. And the word on the street is that was 15 million? Well, I don't know what the numbers were. Don't quote me on that. But he just said, let's talk. You was like, no. Okay. Then Turk al-Sheikh said he got 20 million for you. You said, send me 2 Ferraris and I'll think about it. Eddie Hearn. All right, you went, speaking of Devin Haney was on Conor Benn's hit list. You weren't on that hit list and you put your nose into Conor Benn's business. And he entertained you. And he said, you know what? How you want it, I got it. Let's mix it up. So here you go back in front of Eddie Hearn again. Eddie says, I got what? 15, 25, so what was it, like 25 million? Was that upfront money, Tank? Was that upfront money? And I think he offered you back-end money. Y'all do the research. 20 million, 25 million upfront, and then the back-end money, you was going to get a portion of that? I mean, listen, man, your fans always say, hey, man, you know, Devin can't pay for him. What's Devin offering him 15 million for? Whatever he was offering. I don't know the exact number. It was more than what he made up front with Ryan. Well, Tank made 30 million versus Ryan. Yeah, that was back-end money. So if these guys are offering you 15 million up front, that's more than what you made up front, which means your back-end money will bring you above $30 million. So you versus Devin Haney or Conor Benn, because you got to understand, Conor Benn has a different fan base. I don't deal with him because he's a cheater. But you bring a bag to the table, Tank. You also said you would go to the UK to fight. I think that they would pull some strings to get. Conor Benn will end up fighting in the UK again. But guess what? This wouldn't be a reality if you hadn't said that man's name. You poked your nose in his business. Yes, you did. And then when he gave you attention, you banished. 25 million on the table. $5 million less than what you made with the back end money fighting Riri. Tank a star. You versus Conor Benn in the UK. It'll be a blockbuster here because you're Tank, but in the UK, oh my God. Why did you refuse? You see, you crap on your own fans by doing things like this. Because just 2 weeks ago, it was Tank made 30 million. He don't need these people. You don't need Turk al-Sheikh. You don't need Eddie Hearn and Devin Haney. You don't need Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn. Well, what do you need? What do you want Tank to do? What is Tank doing next? What is Tank doing next? Please tell me. I want to know. I'm a supporter of the sport. I don't hate Tank. I think that he's one of the best at 135, 140. But I'm starting to think that people have more faith in his abilities than he has in himself. Because whatever he does next, it's not going to be against someone that we want to see him in the ring with. How about that? There's a lot of movement at 135. Not Tiafimo's not there. You let him become unified. Devin Haney's not there no more. You let him become undisputed since you're the face of boxing, right? Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. And I'm not interested in your perspective. I'm talking about what happened. And then you're going to turn around and say belts don't matter. And I'm looking at his resume. As opposed to all the people that he could have on his resume. He could have been had Vasily Lomachenko, who's still around. You didn't do it. Shakur is right there. You're not even talking. What is this kid doing? What is he up to? Or if y'all are unconditional fans like Canelo fans, and you don't care what he does, then just say that. I don't care what he does. I'm just happy for the young man making millions of dollars that you're not seeing a nickel of, but whatever. I can celebrate the success of anyone. But I'm a supporter of the sport first. And if I'm a supporter and I'm a consumer and I support with my money and my time, if you're not giving me what I want, I will simply not pay attention anymore. And I'll speak the truth because I have a platform and that's what I do. So you Tank fans, you can get angry, but the truth is the truth. You can say all of this stuff. You can say we don't like Tank and we're Tank haters. Tell me what he's doing. I'll show you what he's done. There you go, right here. Ryan Garcia, Hector Garcia, Rolly Romero, Isak Cruz, Mario Barrios at 140. None of those men that I mentioned sold a pay-per-view before or after they fought Tank. But there you go, Ryan Garcia, undisputed champion at 135, selling pay-per-views before and after. But he never fought Tank. I wonder why. Because the A-sides are the one that makes the offers, right? Where was his offer? We got to go through all of these games. So why did Tank refuse Conor Benn if that was a winnable fight? I'll tell you. Because Tank is having a childlike breakdown. He's poking his lip out and sucking his thumb, and he's rolling on the floor. He's really tired. And the reality is he don't want to fight these guys because the potential of him taking that nap in the ring has become a reality. You're out of time, Tank. The jig is up. You're now in shark-infested water. Shakur's a real threat. Ask your team. They said it, not me. They said it. They said it. Look it up. They said it. Coach Cal said it. And all this cap with Devin Haney, it's obvious fear. They have no faith in their product being successful against these fighters that don't keep still in front of him. If you think Tank is the best, don't tell me that. Tell your man to prove it. Conor Benn was game. He told him, don't DM me, don't at me anymore, sucker. This is a shame. And if you're a Tank fan, don't get mad at me. Ask your man, what's he doing? He refused Conor Benn because he's afraid. And he's having a temper tantrum like a child. Bronx on deck.
Move!